Good afternoon, football fans. Yes, football is back after the international break, and today we are in Lancashire, where Burnley host Chelsea at the historic Turf Moor. Burnley arrive sitting in 17th place in the Premier League with 10 points from 11 games, coming off a significant 3-2 defeat away at West Ham last time out. Significant because a resurgent West Ham are the team directly below them in the relegation placings, also now on 10 points. Chelsea, on the other hand, are in third place with 20 points from their 11 matches. They are buoyed by a strong recent result, a convincing 3-0 home win over Wolves. Historically, Chelsea have dominated this pairing and will be looking to stay consistent once again against Burnley. The question is, can the hosts use the sense of urgency and home pitch to upset the visitors, or will Chelsea's quality and momentum see them take control? Team news: Burnley are unchanged from the West Ham game, while former Blue striker Broja is fit enough to make the bench. Chelsea make 4 changes with Reece James, Jamie Gittens, Adarabioyo and Andrey Santos coming in after the win over Wolves before the international break. After playing 2 lots of 90 minutes for Ecuador over the international break, Caicedo is only deemed fit enough for the bench, with Barcelona and Arsenal coming up. Kick-off, the whistle goes at Turf Moor. A cold Lancashire breeze slices across the pitch as Chelsea, in their white away strip, tap the ball into play. There's anticipation, but also rust, the type of match that always feels unpredictable. Chelsea are expected to win, but expectations mean nothing if you don't turn up. We're about to see who does. Immediately, Burnley press high. There's no nervous edging into this match. They jump straight into aggression. Jadon Anthony bursts down the flank, slipping beyond Cucurella far too easily, and Chelsea scramble. It feels chaotic, disjointed, especially from the visitors. Then, almost comically, Chelsea goalkeeper Sanchez hammers his drop kick against his own player, Fernandez. The midfielder requires some treatment, such was the force of the kick, but he seems okay to continue. Burnley sense fragility. They hammer Chelsea's high line with straight, brave running. Twice Tchaouna sprints clean through, and twice Chelsea survive only because of last-ditch blocks. Chalobah throws his body in front of one effort. Santos slides desperately for another, like a man trying to block a bus. Then Tosin arrives with a third at full stretch. 3 heroic blocks inside 12 minutes, and Chelsea's defenders glare at each other as if they'd never been introduced before. Burnley look confident, direct, sharper. Burnley have had 4 shots in the first 12 minutes, as many as they produced in the opening 12 minutes of their first 11 league games this season. Turf Moor senses something brewing. Chelsea stagger into midfield sequences, but they lack balance. Without Caicedo, there's no natural link between defence and midfield. They keep losing the ball in odd areas, leaving huge gaps. Neto tries to dribble his way into rhythm. Delap then wastes a promising counter by booting a shot miles over, with teammates screaming beside him. Gittens blasts a cross out of play. Nothing looks clean. Burnley are disciplined without the ball and brave with it. Anthony and Hartman supply energy. Tchaouna then shoots on target. Nothing venomous, but straight into Sanchez's gloves. But it confirms what we've seen. The underdogs have been better. Turf Moor isn't bouncing yet, but there's belief humming through the stadium. Around the 25-minute mark, Chelsea finally now managed to breed. Neto dropping deeper to collect possession. Cucurella, tellingly, keeps stepping into midfield, ghosting between Burnley's lines unnoticed. The Clarets don't pick him up, don't adjust, don't track his movements. Suddenly, Chelsea sustain attacks. Dubravka has to punch a swirling corner away as pressure builds. Then, just before the half-hour mark, another bizarre moment in the game as Sanchez passes to Chalobah at a goal kick, who is standing at the edge of the 6-yard box. The defender puts his hand on the ball to then take the goal kick himself. It certainly looked like Sanchez had started the goal kick as he started to run away after passing to Chalobah to make a new angle. But the referee disagrees with Burnley's protest, and Sanchez and Chalobah get away with it. We saw Aston Villa concede a penalty like that in the Champions League once. Burnley don't appeal that much, and the referee is happy to play on. Oh now, chance for Chelsea, but that's brilliant from Kyle Walker, denying Gittens a tap-in at the far post. It was lovely play initially from Delap, which saw him roll his man and get the Chelsea attack moving as he slipped in Neto down the right. He put a ball across the 6-yard box for Gittens, only for Walker to be alert to the danger with a last-ditch sliding tackle and put the ball out for the corner. On his 400th Premier League start, Kyle Walker proves he still got it, still sprinting backwards faster than most players sprint forwards. Burnley's crowd showed their appreciation. Chelsea, though, are waking up, and once a big team wakes up, they don't always ask politely. On 37 minutes, Cucurella again drifts forward into the Burnley box, collecting a clever ball over the top with his back to the goal. He has 3 players around him, but he plays the ball back outside the box to Jamie Gittens, who looks up and sees Delap calling for a ball in at the back post. He whips in a teasing cross into the box. It has curve, dip, pace and invitation. Delap has run centrally, and Burnley fullback Hartman is covering Fernandez's run, but nobody picks up Neto behind them all as he steals in at the far post. Goal! Neto executes an impressive diving header back across goal, past Dubravka, who has no chance. Textbook technique, a stunning finish. Yes, but the assist was everything, from great cross-in by Gittens. You can feel, though, Burnley now after that goal deflate just slightly. That was Chelsea's first genuine moment of quality, and it has produced a goal. Neto now has 5 goal involvements in 5 matches, the kind of form that takes average performances and turns them into wins. Burnley stare at each other. You can feel it, that moment where you've been the better side and suddenly you're behind. Football is merciless. Burnley had been full of life. Now they're less confident, sitting back more, not making as many of those line-breaking midfield runs that we saw in the first half hour of the game. On 41 minutes, Neto receives a booking for delaying a restart. That's a silly yellow for a man who's buzzing with adrenaline. Chelsea come again now. The ball comes to Delap out left as he advances into the penalty area. He has players coming in at the back post, but he mishits his pass straight at Dubravka. Disappointing from Delap, who has not been on his game today. Part of that has been down to the once again impressive Esteve playing centre-half for Burnley, who has marshalled the Englishman very well and has stood up to Delap's physicality. As we approach half-time, Chelsea settle into a period of keep ball. They are tempting Burnley to come out of their defensive shape, but Burnley are not biting. One final moment, Cucurella pops up again, this time as a makeshift number 10, and slides Delap in for a shot that deflects behind for one final corner. Chelsea have turned the game on intelligence rather than dominance. The corner comes in, and Joao Pedro heads it wide. And that's it. Half-time. Burnley started the brighter. They were brave, they ran at Chelsea, they forced mistakes, they made top-class defenders look panicked. But they lacked precision, and precision is everything in this league. One moment of exquisite quality from Cucurella and Gittens, and it's Neto with a header that flips the whole mood. Chelsea's left-back drifting into midfield has been the storyline of the half. Burnley have struggled to pick him up. Chelsea have not been amazing, quite the opposite. But Neto has been the only real threat up front, yet that's been enough. Burnley are not out of it, but they must rediscover the tempo they began with. Second half and Burnley kick off. One forced Chelsea change. Badiashile comes on for captain Reece James, who looks fine physically, smiling as he walks off, probably a precaution with big fixtures looming. Chalobah shifts to right back. Chelsea now look taller, stronger and calmer, and with Cucurella often drifting forward, they will be comfortable with 3 at the back. Within seconds, Joao Pedro skies a strike into the stands from the edge of the box. But the key thing there is not the finish, more just how much more space Chelsea suddenly have. They look comfortable playing in that space. They're dictating possession and Burnley can't get out. The second half, though, is slow to ignite. Fouls, stoppages, half chances. Santos needs treatment after Cullen goes flying in late. For 5 minutes, the match becomes disjointed again, scrappy, but that suits Chelsea, who want Burnley to lose rhythm. Just before the hour, Chelsea click. Joao Pedro dances into the box with neat feet before Tuanzebe rescues Burnley with a brilliant stretching tackle. Peaks of quality, glimpses of danger. Then Gittens cuts inside and curls a shot that takes a nick and whistles past the far post. It is relentless pressure now. Burnley are gasping for escape. Crisp passing now down the right, releases Neto at a tight angle inside the box. He shoots first time as the ball comes across his body. It's a low drive, sneaking toward Dubravka's near post. The keeper reacts with fingertips. The ball rockets off the post and skims back out. Turf Moor freezes for a half second before exhaling. That could have ended it. Chelsea smell blood. Burnley haven't had a shot since the 39th minute of the first half. The game has narrowed to one side. In the 67th minute, Delap is taken off for Gusto. Interesting change. It looks like Gusto is now in midfield with Fernandez in the 10 behind Joao Pedro. Then comes Burnley's best chance of the half. A long ball into the box, goes over the defenders' heads. Flemming brings it down perfectly. He's going for the volley. Oh no! He blazes it over the bar. He rushed it. The technique to control was elite. The finish belonged in the car park. The moment is gone. That is the difference today. Shortly after, Scott Parker rolls the dice. Triple change. Off go Anthony, Flemming and Ugochukwu. On come Foster, Hannibal and Broja. Yes, the same Broja who only days ago was stretchered off while playing for Albania. You wouldn't know it. He looks hungry. Turf Moor senses a twist. A change too for Chelsea as Mejbri replaces Pedro. For Burnley, Tchaouna is replaced by Bruun Larsen. Fernandez is now starting to play higher and as Maresco shifts midfield roles, pushing power into transitions. Gusto joins from the bench and helps create a chance immediately. He and Neto combine with a quick 1-2 on the edge of the box, but Gusto's shot is straight at Dubravka, who can palm it over the bar for a corner. Burnley are hanging by threads, but they're alive. They win their first corner at 82 minutes, a depressing statistic for a home side chasing a game. A quick word on Andrey Santos for Chelsea today. The 21-year-old Brazilian has been very impressive defensively, always in the right position to break up play or get in a block. He was a big reason why Burnley were not able to capitalise on the opportunities they had in the first half. The game has become tense, a little spiky too. Hannibal and Badiashile wrestle each other like two teenagers fighting over a PlayStation controller while waiting for a corner. Both are booked. Turf Moor wakes up. There's noise. There's annoyance. Burnley are still trying to punch. 2 minutes of normal time remaining, and it's Chelsea on the attack. Mejbri, fresh and fearless, muscles past Tuanzebe down the right. He gets into the 6-yard box. He draws Dubravka out to the near post. Mejbri, he looks up and squares to Enzo arriving on the penalty spot. Goal! The Argentine lashes the finish past 2 defenders on the line. The shot is venomous. Burnley looks shattered. Mejbri turns away, celebrating with the away fans. Fernandez roars at the camera. The Chelsea bench erupts. Relief as much as anything else, their fuel. Chelsea were not pretty, they weren't fluid, but they were clinical. That's what Burnley were not. 6 minutes added, no drama left. Broja has a late effort loop into Sanchez's arms. The match drifts to its inevitable conclusion. And there we are, full time. Chelsea rise to second place, 5 matches unbeaten, 3 straight clean sheets in the league for the first time since March 2022. This wasn't a performance that dazzled, but it didn't need to dazzle. Burnley started brilliantly, played with personality, created pressure, but lacked final moments. They ran at Chelsea, unsettled them, then lost confidence the second Neto scored. The Clarets could fall into the relegation zone depending on other results later today, and Turf Moor overall will feel unlucky with the performance but also frustrated. Good beginnings won't save anyone in the Premier League. Chelsea showed the sign of a ruthless side. They win without shining, they strike when it matters, they twist matches with moments, not volume. Cucurella's midfield's drifting was decisive, Neto was the spark, Enzo sealed it at the end, and a heavyweight team collected heavyweight points without firing on all cylinders. Title challengers grind, Chelsea grinded. On days like this, that means everything. It finishes here at Turf Moor, Burnley 0, Chelsea 2.